Good morning, guys. Welcome to Glasgow Rangers Nation. We're out and about this morning, just walking. Want to keep update with all the latest ahead of obviously the Old Firm game this Sunday. I've got to say, really disappointed with the news that the board have backed Russell Martin, a man who, you know, the more and more I read, talk to Southampton fans, read some Southampton stuff about when he was there. Look at what's happening with Raskin. Look at what's happening with Igman. This guy is fucking destroying our club. He is absolutely destroying our club. You know, there's an actual chance that if we lose this weekend, we'll be in the bottom half of the league. I mean, how humiliating is that? They'll be itching to get going, itching to get started, itching to get us, obviously beat us this weekend because of the fact they want to put us in the bottom half. I mean, it's an absolute... It's dire. I mean, people can say, oh, you're entitled. So I got called self-entitled the other day. But like I said, you know, the situation with Martin is this. If you could see progress week on week, you could see development week on week, you could see improvement week on week in what Russell Martin was doing with the team, that the team was moving forward, no matter how small those steps may be, you know, I think there would be some backing there, because I think there's a realisation with the fan base that, yes, we are obviously, you know, absolutely itching to obviously compete for trophies, to win trophies, to be successful, but we are obviously a long way behind Celtic because of the fact that you know, the squad has been depleted over the years. The squad is not good enough, and we do need to improve the squad. I mean, that's a standard fact. We know that. But by that same token, what he has done to this team and what he is doing to this team is making it a whole lot worse. And, you know, if it is that he is going to be sacked eventually, he's going to leave a squad that is, I think, bereft of quality, bereft of talent. You know, it's going to be a really poor squad going forward. For whoever takes over, you know, whoever that may be, whether that be Gerrard, whether that be we make a move to try and get Lampard, we make a move for Roll, for Rosa, for Muscat, whoever we try and get. But look, let's look at it this way. This team is just not good enough at this moment in time, because I think essentially the manager leaves the team very, very confused. I don't think the players know what he wants, how he wants them to play. The players look confused. The players look just genuinely lost on the whole situation. This team is just all over the place, and it's down to Russell Martin and his coaching. I mean, look, you can say, oh, it's the players, but there's 8 of the 11 that started the other night against Club Bruges were not here last season. These are 8 new players, so it's not like you can go back and blame the same old people. Blame the Tavs, blame the Souters, blame, obviously, you know, the Ridvans, the Jeftays of this world. These guys are essentially a new squad. You know, you've got 8 new players out there, you know, on that park. So to say it's the players, I think, is disingenuous now. It is the manager that is a major issue this time. And I agree, in the past the players have been partly to blame. Of course they have. But look, let's get things straight. That move by Kavanagh, by Marathe, by Stewart to back that manager just shows that what the hell are they doing? I mean, look, the situation is very much that obviously Kevin Thelwell, Patrick Stewart, etc. and Dan Purdy will make the footballing decisions at this point in time. You know, Andrew Kavanagh, Parag Marathe will obviously turn to them and listen to them when it comes to making those decisions. Of course they will. And Thelwell, I think, has proven by his record at Everton that the guy is absolutely fucking useless. I mean, look at his signings. These are his signings. Thelwell is just a joke. I mean, and you can look at how much better Everton have done in the transfer market since he's left. I mean, they've brought in, obviously, players like Jack Grealish, for example, this summer. They've brought in far better talent and are probably going to do a hell of a lot better this season without his ridiculous signings. And then the move by Stewart. I mean, Patrick Stewart, you know my views on Patrick Stewart. I think the guy's an absolute joke. I think he should have been sacked a long time ago. He hates the fans, he hates the club, I think. I think he's probably a double agent for Celtic. But, you know, he obviously, by backing Martin, they've made a massive mistake. A huge mistake yet again. I mean, I don't think it matters who we sign over the next couple of days or who goes out, you know, with the window obviously closing very soon. The club's going to be in the same place. Now, news this morning that Nico Raskin has not been used or included in any of the preparations for the Celtic game. Now, this is an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. Raskin was our best player by an absolute street for the last 6 months. That guy has been the best midfielder in Scotland, one of the best midfielders in Europe. Has played, you know, alongside the likes of De Bruyne, Tielemans, and international football has looked as good as those top class, world class talents. Yet Russell Martin's come in and turned him into a player that looks like a League One English player. And how the hell Joe Rothwell gets in a team ahead of him, I do not know. Joe Rothwell looks like your dad, after he's had a couple of pints, running out on a Sunday to play for a pub team. I mean, Joe Rothwell wouldn't get in my pub team. I mean, he genuinely wouldn't. The guy's useless. He's unfit, he's slow, he's dithersome. He's just an all-round very, very poor player. So it looks like this situation between Raskin and Martin is real. There has been a major fallout between the two of them. And it's just an absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. This guy is just destroying this football club. Now, it doesn't help, of course, that Thierry Raskin, Nicolas Raskin's dad, took to social media to absolutely destroy Russell Martin the other day. I'm no doubt that's had some impact on the decisions that Martin's made. Raskin obviously didn't tell his dad to take it down, didn't tell obviously his dad not to. But you've got to kind of say that Thierry Raskin is right in his criticism of Russell Martin. The guy is an absolute joke. He is an absolute charlatan. I mean, he makes Michael Beale look like Pep Guardiola. He makes Michael Beale look like Walter Smith. I mean, that's how bad this guy is. He's worse than Beale, he's worse than Caillinha, he's worse than Le Guen, he's worse than Clement. I'd rather have Philippe Clement back as manager than suffer another, few months under this absolute joker as our manager. And like I said, the news that now obviously that Raskin is going to be left out for Sunday, I think is a joke, given how talented Raskin quite clearly is. He's one of the best players on the squad. And he's proved that over the last 6 months since he came back from that injury. He got into the Belgium team, and you get people on here criticising Raskin and saying, I've had one person I've actually banned from the channel now because he's ridiculous comments, because of his personal abuse as well. Raskin is by far one of the best midfielders in the squad. Yet he's not going to play this Sunday, it looks like, because of a supposed fallout between him and the manager. I mean, this manager's come in and he's alienated our better players. I mean, Hammer's another one who he's clearly alienated, forced out. He's obviously off to Lille now. Obviously, the money will be very useful. But like I said, everything he's doing at this football club at the moment is bad. The football is dire, the football is turgid, it's directionless, it's boring, it's just clueless. It is just really, really bad. And then you get the fact that some of our top players are now being forced out by him. This squad is bereft. I mean, you look at this squad now, guys, and I ask you, who's our best player? Which player out of the players that we've got now, how many of those 11 that he'll start on Sunday would get into Celtic's team? If you work on the basis that Jack Butland in goal will start, and look, Butland I think is pretty much free from criticism from the other day. It'll probably be Tav at right back, which will leave Dyson Maida absolutely licking his lips, because let's face it, Dyson Maida owns Tavernier, runs rings around him every time he plays him. It'll probably be Suter and Giga back, probably in central defence maybe. Left back I think will probably be Magoma has to play really, because there is literally no one else, because he's obviously got rid of Jefte, he's got rid of Fraser. Ridvan looks like he's going. He's been alienated and forced out as well. Midfield 3 will be Dio, who has been appalling this season. Joe Rothwell, who has been appalling this season. And then, probably, I don't know, maybe Connor Barron might play. Maybe Asgard, who looks, I don't know what Asgard is. He looks genuinely awful. So you've got that. And then the front 3, I think, will be Ant-Man. I think Dessers might come back in. Dessers, though, is just too inconsistent, way too inconsistent for me. May score a goal, may not score a goal, may spend more of his time on his arse moaning. I don't know, you never know with him. And Gassama, who is just clearly been restricted and made to look really poor by Martin's tactics and the way Martin is using him. I mean, of those players, how many of those actually get into Celtic's team? I'd argue maybe Jack Butland, because Kasper Schmeichel for me is a bit dodgy. But other than that, I'd say none of them. I'd say that some of them would even struggle to get into Hearts and Hibs teams. That's how bad they are. Look, I mean, we'll probably beat Celtic at the weekend. It's like Celtic aren't that great. They are 3 from 3. They did lose to Borat FC during the week, but who knows? But this is dire, guys, and the club coming out and backing him is just ridiculous. I mean, as Heart and Hand message put out this morning on X, the longer he stays, the worse we get. Correct, 100% correct from David Edgar and the boys. I fear for the future. I really genuinely do fear for the future under this manager. He is genuinely fucking clueless and genuinely useless. And the news that he's now alienated Raskin, bad news. Let me know your thoughts in the comments.